Now, I want to tell you a story. It's about the mongoose. Picture this. In 1872 in Portland Spring Gardens, a planter was having dinner with his wife. Must have been a lovely dinner, sitting down having that wonderful feast. When his wife asked him what was the matter, and he said the cane field is in problems. Money's going down the drain because of rats. His wife suggests to him, why not get some mongoose? Because her father had mongoose as pet. Now, I don't know if you can have mongoose as pet. I would not have one as a pet or any. And it was nice that they kill rats. The conversation changed Jamaica forever. That is how the mongoose came to Jamaica. So William ordered mongoose from England. They arrived, he released them. And you know what happened? The mongoose were afraid of the rats. This is not any joke or anything. One planter wrote that the mongoose were afraid. It's like a security guard afraid of a thief. So this time he went straight to India for 9 mongoose. 4 males, 5 females. One of them was pregnant when they arrived on February 13th, 1872. Within 6 months, William was happy. By that time, he was very happy. As a result of his good news, a lot of countries ordered mongoose. They claimed that it saved them £45,000 a year. That's millions of dollars right now. I can't even figure out that sum. But you think that problem would be solved, right? Now, before I go further, let me address something. Something that you're thinking. And I know you're thinking of that now. Hold on. You always hear that mongoose came to kill snakes, not rats. You're not alone. I thought of that a couple days ago until I did the research. And there are a lot of people who tell tourists this sort of nonsense. But there's one thing. It's not true. And we have no facts to back that up. The actual problem was documented in William's letter in 1872. Rats were destroying his cane. The Zoological Society of London has records of this. Not a word about snake was mentioned. So where did the rat story come from? Here's what I think happened, or what happened. In 1872 to 1800s, everyone was happy. The mongoose were killing the rats. By the 1880s, scientists started to notice something. Birds were disappearing, and people started asking what? What have we done? By the 1890s to 1900s, they can't admit that they made a big mistake. So that's the first problem. They can't admit that they destroyed native species for nothing at all. So what's the narrative? They wanted to shift it. They started to blame it on the poor snake because people are fearful of snakes. But let us remember, Jamaica has never had poisonous snakes. Even though the yellow snake was actually helping with the rats at nights, they didn't think about that. The story change makes the mistake less foolish. This is the most important part. When we make change to our stories, to ourselves, to look better, we might not be in the good or better light. If the mongoose came to kill snakes and the snakes are scary, that's the best way to blame the snakes. But do not believe that. By believing the snake story, we missed the real lesson. So let us get deeper into this. The snakes came out at nights and the snakes ate the rats. However, the mongoose were creatures of the day, so they didn't cross paths much. So as a result, the mongoose had to find other things to eat. So it started eating eggs of the iguanas and so forth. It started eating our chickens. We know that must have happened that time. We still have problems with our chickens. But the real plan was a big mistake. They rewrote history for us to not understand that a mistake was made. As long as we believe the snake story instead of the rat story, we miss the real lesson. Study before you act. So next time someone says the mongoose came to kill snakes, stop them. Tell them it's not true. Tell them about William and the rat. Tell them about the yellow snakes that we lost. Tell them about the night versus day mistake, because the truth is how they learn and they need to understand that. Now we have the mongoose in Jamaica. They are all around. I hear so many stories about mongoose. They made up songs, Slide Mongoose, you name Gone Abroad. But it has left a legacy of destruction in Jamaica. We almost lost several species because of the mongoose. So we actually had problems. The tick problem we had, and even when we had Hurricane Melissa, mongoose can spread all sorts of diseases, including leptospirosis, rabies, and so on. So what we have is a problem that was caused by the colonial people in charge, passing down and blaming it on the poor snakes that we almost lost. After mongoose finished eating everything on the ground, it decided to climb. The evolution was right before people's eyes. The solution, they adapted to an environment and created a bigger problem than the worst. The mongoose kills off the birds, the lizards. You know what birds and lizards eat. They eat insects, they eat ticks. And by the 1900s, Jamaica was dealing with a tick explosion, tick plague, insect problem. And you know what? They left us with the problem, but they didn't admit it. The mongoose population kept growing, and the rats, they adapted to. Jamaican rats learned to climb trees and escape from the mongoose. Yes, you can see rats in the trees. So now you have tree climbing mongoose, tree climbing rats. The predator and the pest won. Jamaica lost. 154 years. The mongoose still is everywhere. From sea level to Blue Mountain Peak, still causing problems, still killing chickens, still creating problems for farmers, threatening native species, potential carrier of leptospirosis. According to the Jamaica Observer, mongoose is the enemy, not friend. Here's the scariest part. Most Jamaicans are scared of snakes more than mongoose, but Jamaica has never had poisonous snake. The yellow snake that mongoose nearly wiped out was completely harmless. It was helping eat the rats at night. Fear outlived the fact over centuries. So whenever you hear the mongoose story, please remember that someone sat around a table, they were having dinner, and came up with a wise idea that mongoose would kill rats. But when the mongoose came, they realized that mongoose just don't like rats. And rats work at nights and the mongoose work at day. So therefore, that would not have solved the problem. It left us with devastation. And mongoose still continues to roam the streets, cross the road, turn back in the middle of the road, give people a feeling of bad luck if they don't cross, and so forth. But that's the real story of the mongoose. I want to challenge you to look at the resources I have. You might be doubtful of the story, but see where it takes you, because I think the mongoose story is really fascinating. How the narratives have been twisted. So my question to you is, if this story that you believe so long turns out to be a factual one that I presented, how many stories were sent down and brought down to us from the colonial past that is actually untrue? Thanks. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.
(1872), one dinner conversation. We are on basic land in pest elimination. Rats are destroying, me can't feel profits going down. She said, one goose from Ceylon can solve this with your husband. Here I connect to the government quick. Import 9 mongoose, that was with British trick. 4 male, 5 female, 1 carrying daddy. February 13, them landing case done already. 9 mongoose come to Jamaica. Everybody says rats them come far, but the story changed. Now we blame the snake when we can't admit the size of our mistake. 9 mongoose went to die. Now them everywhere under the sky. We solution, no time to study. 6 months later, William claims of sex. The rats decrease, that's what him profess. Words spread fast to the Caribbean chain. Cuba, Mongoose, Puerto Rico, the Satraras. 9 mongoose come to Jamaica. Everybody say to rats them come far, but the story change. Now we blame the smith when we can't admit the size of our mistake. 9 mongoose multiply. Now them everywhere under the star. We rewrote history to ease the pain. Population lost and the damage remain extreme. But the mongoose eating everything inside. Yellow snake that flash the rats I fly. Jamaican pigeon for real they fly. Never to return, gone from our side. Iguana almost extinct by 1914. Crown lizard disappear, the story didn't bear tea. Birds and lizards to stay if it ticks and fleas. Now them preachers multiply like that King's Bridge. Then somebody say, we bring them for this slate, even though that's not the truth, for heaven's sake. Jamaica never had no price in a snake at all. But we changed the story, so we know feel smart. Fear-based stories sound better than failure. So we rewrite history like a tailor, but unstitch until it fit just right. What the truth still